Welcome to the Bushido Gang. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's AttackonSamurott, bringing you all just a short discussion video talking about the recent suspect test ban for Gengar in Pokemon BDSP OU, also known as Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. So, in case you aren't familiar with BDSP, it's basically Diamond and Pearl. But it's been modernized, where it has like the quality of life changes with fairy typing, and updated move pools and whatnot from Gen 4. So mechanic wise as well too, like explosions weaker and all that stuff. So Gengar is banned from BDSP OU. The suspect test result came out today as I'm recording. Now actually it's funny, but I was actually recording earlier in the day because I would actually have like a live up for today, which is being Thursday. I will have a BDSP live up for tomorrow though, so you guys will see that. But I do apologize for not uploading for today, or uploading for Thursday being today. But you guys will see something tomorrow though. Again, I'm so sorry. Let me actually get my thoughts together. But yeah, the result came out today, and it was a unanimous vote. That mon is now gone. Let me actually look at the thread here. I think this is actually this is just to show like the result of who got in and whatnot. Let me actually go back to the result of the actual test. So this is the result of the test for Gengar. So it was a unanimous vote. 22 people voted. Or 22 people got in to vote, and only 14 made the vote, and it was 13-1. So that mon got deleted. So Gengar is now banned from BDSP, which is tough. It's very tough. Now, let me tell you why this mon is so good. Well, let me tell you why Gengar is so good. You want to know the real reason why Gengar is good? No pursuit. Simple as that. No pursuit. No pursuit in this metagame. With no pursuit in a metagame like this, Gengar is going to go wild. Like, it just is. Like, if Tar can't stop you, what can? You know? Like, unless you have like a faster mon like against Zam or like Azelf to handle it, but yeah, like no pursuiter, you just get the guard just goes crazy, man. There were some really good sets, there's some pretty good sets that Gengar ran over the last couple months. It's been Specs, Scarf, Sub Nasty Plot, Life Form Nasty Plot. Gengar's been doing a lot, man. That mon has been going crazy. Now, what does Gengar add utility-wise? Utility-wise, it added a Spin Blocker. A Spin Blocker is basically a mon, or it's basically a ghost type that can avoid hazard removal. So hazard removal and being Rapid Spin. So the two Rapid Spinners in BDSP are Donphan and Starmie. So with those two, now with Gengar being gone, now these two can spin on everything in the metagame, which is a very big deal. It's not as big of a deal when there's other ways of hazard removal like Defog and Scizor, Skarmory even, one of the Lottie twins. Togekiss as well, which I think is a better defogger than I think is an overall better defogger than like I don't want to say than Skarmory, but it's definitely a good defogger. I'd probably say it's better than Latios, or than Latios at least. I'll say that. Like Latios is not a good defogger. Don't use it as a defogger. It's not that good. But yeah, going back to Gengar though, there really isn't a lot of defensive play against it. You have Blissey, but Blissey has to land T-Wave, and you have to also have Shadow Ball too, and all that stuff. Let me actually show you that everything Gengar beats. If you're running Scarf, you beat Zam. Non-Sash variants, you beat that. If it's Sash, though, Zam can't kill you back. Same with Azelf. But usually Azelf is going to be lead anyway, so it will just die regardless. Azu dies to Sledge Bomb. Blissey subsets beat it. Loom dies to Shadow Ball / Sledge Bomb. Sledge Bomb is better for the more bulkier sets, but still, Shadow Ball does a lot anyway. Clef gets messed up by Sledge Bomb. Crawdon gets messed up by Sledge Bomb, or Dazzling Gleam, or Energy Ball. Donphan doesn't want to take any of his stabs, especially if it gets chipped already, and breaks and its 30's broken. Dragonite, same thing. If its multi-skill's gone, then Dragonite's not going to take any hit from it. Gator doesn't really want to take a hit either. Chomp doesn't want to take a hit. Opposing Gengar, you trade against that. Glasgow dies to like, or gets messed up pretty badly by spec sets. So Specs Hex is very, very powerful. Heatran, depending on the variant, Heatran doesn't really want to take a hit from it. Spadef variants take like 30 from specs, while like Scarf or like subsets take like, I think 20 to 30, like around that range. So it's like in between that range. But Shadow Ball still does a pretty good chunk to it. But if you get a Spadef drop on it, then it's definitely not going to appreciate those hits anymore. Offensive sets don't really want to take a Shadow Ball though. Like Shadow Ball does like does too much damage to offensive Heatran. AP outspeed it and kill it. Rachi doesn't want to take Shadow Ball. Neither do the Lottie twins. Luke doesn't want to take Shadow Ball. It does too much damage to it. Could potentially kill it as well. Zone doesn't want to take damage. Neither does Mamo. And Mamo can't even kill it back. Like Banned Eye Shard doesn't kill back. But this one does a really good chunk to it though. Like it does a ton. But it doesn't kill back. That's the problem. Rotom does a lot. Or Rotom... Gar can do a lot to Rotom. Scarf his Tar around, so you can Volt Switch on it and whatnot, or Hydro Pump it if you're really afraid of Gengar. But yeah, offensively you pressure that Mon. Scissors the same way too. Pretty much if you get a Spadef drop on it, it dies. Skarmory same thing, but even still, like you just do too much damage to it. On Hyper Offense, Skarmory can kill this back though. With Brave Bird will do a ton to it. Raptor. Well, Raptor, you have to go off of, well, Gengar pressures it with Slash Bomb, Slash Thunderbolt, Slash all of its other, like, options. But if you're locked in, though, and you're locked into Shadow Ball, then this Mon gets a free switch in. But besides that, though, Raptor isn't really a switch in you want to take. It's more of a risk, actually, when you bring in Raptor against Gengar, because you're going off the miss. You're going off two things. You're going off the Focus Blast miss, and you're going off them going for Shadow Ball. Starmie, if it's not Scarf Gengar, then you outspeed it and kill it. If it's Scarf Gengar, then you die. Same thing with Tangro. Tangro dies to all variants. Kiss dies to all variants. Tar, if you land Focus Blast on Tar, then you kill it. But if you miss, then you die. So it's kind of you kind of got to trade with Gengar, really. But even still, you have, like, Energy Ball and, like, Dazzling Gleam as other options as well. Weavile, well, if you're faster than it, you can kill it with Sledge Bomb or Dazzling Gleam. If you're not faster, then Weavile kills you back. So, simple as that. But yeah, this Mon pretty much requires trading. You have to trade with this thing to get anything out of it. And Gengar can do the same thing back to you, because again, you have like Destiny Bond on Gengar. So if you want to trade, you can trade with Destiny Bonding, and you remove your Mon, or I mean, Gengar gets removed, but you remove a threat from them, or but you remove a Mon from your opponent. So it's still worth anyway. But yeah, in my opinion, I think Specs is the most dangerous set. Very, very dangerous and very free to spam, even with Blissey around. And then I'd say after that is Sub, and then Scarf after that. So yeah, that's just how I see it anyway. I definitely think Scarf was underrated compared to the other sets. Scarf is definitely dangerous. Definitely a dangerous late game cleaning Mon, or definitely a dangerous way of late game cleaning. But yeah, the problem with Gengar is that there's no resist to this Mon. Like, you can say there's Tar, but Tar doesn't really count because of Focus Blast if it lands anyway, which I think is still... I mean, again, you have to land it. That's what it comes out to. You have to land Focus Blast. But if you don't land, then you die. So it pretty much is a trade every time you fight. Every time Gengar fights Tar. Unless you still go for the Energy Ball play, too, which still does a lot, too, with Specs. I think you do, like, 40 or something. Like, 40 to 50. Depending on the Tar variant, of course. Like, if you're running a more offensive Tar, then Energy Ball would do a lot more damage. But if you're running a more, like, bulkier variant, then it'll probably do, like... I definitely think it does, like, up to 50%. Up to 50. But still, that's still a lot of damage anyway. I think it's, like, 46 to 55. Somewhere around that range. With Specs anyway. Scarf sets definitely don't want to take a hit. Or definitely don't do enough to it. Subsets the same as well, but you have to actually land Focus Blast on your sub, which you have better odds against that anyway, since you can actually sub on Tar. Well, not on Tar, but like before it comes in, then you can Focus Blast it. But yeah, this thing's dangerous, man. Dangerous ass Mon. Very, very dangerous Mon. Again, not a whole lot of defensive counterplay to it. Really, the way you had to handle it was with trading or priority. So you had like Crawdaunt, you also had like Scizor too. But again, in one post that I was looking at right here, talking about the way for revenge killing back with it, is you have to have either a fast mon or, you know, strong priority, which I mean it's there. There is strong priority like Ice Shard and whatnot, and BP if you can SD up with it, or SD up with like Scizor or something. But yeah, Jet, you have Jet and whatnot. But yeah, it's like a 2 KO. And again, same with Mamo too. Mamo's like a 2 KO if you're in like Band or Life Orb even. But Life Orb, you know, you just kind of take a lot from Shadow Ball into Life Orb. So yeah. Or after Life Orb chip anyway. So yeah, this thing's dangerous. Now, what does Gengar being gone do for the metagame? Well, that's a pretty good question. Gengar does a lot being gone. I mean, with Gengar gone, there's a lot that changes here. For one, I don't think Dark type. Well, actually, no. It's kind of weird to say. I almost want to say it's controversial to say, but I feel like Dark types aren't as good. With Gengar being gone now. I mean, there's still like the argument with, you know, like Lottie still being around and whatnot, which I do agree. I do agree with that. But I definitely agree with that. But definitely Dark types. Actually, no, I take that back. I think Dark types have actually gotten better now that I look at it. But again, it's only really in the case of handling Zam, Azelf, and the Lotties, and Rachi as well. Which again, Tar can handle like some of that, and so can Weavile too. So there's that, and also Crawdaunt as well. Crawdaunt can handle those as well. Except for like Zam and Azelf still, and Lottie still. But if you can get them in, if you can like force them in and then you get knockoff off on them, then, you know, there's that too. Or crunch them or whatnot. But yeah, Mon's dangerous, very dangerous Mon. Crawdaunt's very strong Dark type. Sorry about that. But yeah, Gengar being gone means that fighting types also get better too. So we're going to be seeing a lot of fighting types rise up. So for example, Loom is one of the big candidates that's going to be rising, because Loom couldn't really do too much to it. I mean, yeah, you had like Ban Bullet Sea, which can do a lot if you catch it on the switch in. That can almost kill it. so there's that. Beforehand, and even like Scarf sets can do a lot to it as well. But yeah, now that Gengar's gone, Loom has even more freedom. Now this Mon can freely run subsets and just be annoying with Toxic Orb. So you're going to be seeing a lot of Poison Heal Breloom, a lot of it, especially on more balanced teams, which balance also got better too, by the way, with Gengar being gone. Hyper Offense got worse with Gengar being gone, because on Hyper Offense, Gengar was one of the ways to break through defensive checks that, you know, these Hyper Offense teams needed to remove. So for example, Scizor gets messed up by Shadow Ball still, and whatnot. So those checks. So now those checks have a lot more freedom. But yeah, going back to Loom though, definitely like subsets are gonna be nice. Sub bulk up's gonna be really good. Sub seed's gonna be nice as well. So you're gonna be seeing a lot of sub seed sets on more defensive teams. So again, sub leech seed, focus punch, and whatnot. You can even run toxic now too. So you're gonna be seeing a lot of that as well. Even at bulk up sets as well. You can run Spore too, like Spore bulk up. Well, actually, it's kind of interesting with how you can do Loom now, because in some cases you might not even need Spore, in some cases anyway. But definitely Spore is nice to have though. Don't get me wrong, that's very nice to have. But you definitely could get away with something like a bulk up set, so like sub bulk up Facade. You can run Facade as well now, since again, no ghost type, so you just run that, and you can run Drain Punch for the recovery, and you just do a lot of damage with that. So this Mon is going to be very good. It's going to be very good. Definitely one of the best fighting, or definitely the best fighting type. I'm gonna say it. It is the best fighting type, without a doubt. With Gengar being gone, this Mon has a lot more freedom. So be warned, this thing is going to be nasty. I'm gonna tell y'all, it's gonna be nasty. Y'all gonna need some sleep talk users. I'm gonna say that now. Or run a grass type. which I definitely recommend. Grass types are really good. Please run. Grass types are very underrated. Like Tangrowth is one. I mean, I don't really want to talk about Tangrowth. Tangrowth is there because it needs, because I mean it's a physical check to everything, or most of the physical attackers here. But yeah, even stuff like Rose Raid's pretty decent as well. Abomasnow is another really good one too. I have no idea why that mon is still like, why that mon hasn't gotten usage yet. That mon is very good, man. It's very good. Definitely an underrated grass type. But again, I'm going a little off topic. Again, Luma's gonna be nasty, man. Not much can really stop this thing now. So not like it did even when Gengar was around, but now it's even more prevalent. So be warned. Ape also got better too. Ape got better. You can run like mixed set. You can run mixed sets even more effectively now. So mix is gonna be even better than it was before. And another thing to note is that, you know, Overheat's very free in the metagame. And you're probably wondering, why is it very free when there's Heatran? Well, Heatran, you see, Heatran isn't running Flash Fire these days because it doesn't really need to. There's no other really common fire type besides Ape, and Ape just punches it. So that's why Flame Body's better at the moment, since you can capitalize on U-turning stuff. And you can also go for burns on like physical attackers too that want to just close combat you. So like Luke, if you close combat it, you have a chance to get burned. So you kind of just add that 30% chance to get a burn on something. And same with Glasgow running U-turn, you have a chance to burn it too. So it has its positives. I'm personally not a fan of it. I think it's ass, but hey, I understand. I understand why it's there. But yeah, going back to Ape, Life Orb sets are really Life Orb mix sets are gonna be nice. So we're gonna be seeing a lot of that. That's gonna be pretty cool to see. Might even see more band sets too. Maybe might even see more band. Band is definitely a. I mean, no, not really. Again, Glasgow. Again, I'm gonna get into Glasgow and like other defensive mons soon. But yeah. Again, the physical attack, the fighting types, definitely will get better. As the meta goes on, but again, its checks are going to be on the rise soon. But yeah, Overheat, CC, Grass Knot, and like whatever coverage you want. EQ if you really want to EQ, like Thunder Punch, Stone Edge, whatever. But yeah, CC, Overheat, CC, Grass Knot are all you really need on Ape, since that covers basically everything in the metagame. But yeah, you have those options. You have those options to handle your checks. For example, like you could go for CC into Glasgow and kill that with Overheat. Even better now, since you know Gengar's not here. So again, no fighting immunity means fighting types are very free to just click CC. So yeah, that's an important thing to note there. And now Lucario. So Lucario, for hyper offense, this spawn got worse because again, more defensive checks are going to be on the rise. So again, it's a lot more Skarmory stuff, probably going to see a lot more defensive Rotom too. I'm going to see a lot more Kiss, which Kiss, I mean, still dies, but I mean, like, Kiss on Scarf sets are still pretty nice too to handle Luke. But yeah, again, defensively, there are going to be a lot more checks to Luke now. So Slowbro, for example, is going to be on the rise in this metagame with fighting types being more prevalent. And yeah, Slowbro, Hippo maybe. Again, Tangrowth, for example. Tangrowth just hard walls this, by the way. Like, Tangrowth completely walls Luke. So, unless you're running, like, if you're running, like, mixed, though. Actually, no, you have to go special. You have to go, like, special offensive to deal with Tangrowth, because mixed can still take hits. Or, I mean, with mix, you can, Tangrowth can still take hits, but, like, a more special-oriented one, Luke can definitely beat it. But yeah. Again, physical Luke, physical SD, Life Orb Luke, definitely got worse. It still has like it can still E-speed things a little bit easier now, and also still just spam CC on a lot more things now. But again, the defensive counterplay for this mon is going to be very good. So it just won't be as good as it used to be, but it's still gonna be around though. Heracross on the other hand, Heracross is just like another example of another fighting type that might rise up. I even say that because it can actually, well, I don't want to say it can, but well, it doesn't really handle the fairies. I'll say that it doesn't handle the fairies, but it can definitely take on Tangrowth and take on Slowbro, and it can't really take on Gliscor though. So it only takes on like 2 out of the 4 rising defensive walls in the metagame, which is not great, but it's something. It's definitely something. It'll definitely get some attention, but I don't know if it'll be enough for it to rise into OU though, but it'll definitely see some play. I can see that. You can definitely see that. It still has throat chop though. Actually, I don't think that really matters. I don't know why I went to that. But yeah, it has no like poison coverage, so it can't really hit fairy types, which is kind of the downfall for this thing. You'd have to rely on Stone Edge to actually punish it, or you have Facade too. So actually, Guts Facade can still be pretty good for hitting the fairy type. So you have that to go off of. So yeah, Guts Facade is definitely not bad. Could definitely help with dealing with Clef and even Gliscor still. So yeah, Heracross is definitely usable. Definitely usable. Another one I think has potential is Machamp, but that one's going a little overboard. I'm going a little overboard with Machamp. I just have, a fascination for Machamp since this one's like still very good, or I mean, still like very strong anyway. But it might see some usage. It might, but again, the problem, not really the problem is that it just can't break through defensive Tangrowth, or really, I mean, it can kind of handle Kiss and can handle Clef with Heavy Slam, but outside that though, and even BP, it can do that too. So like BP plus Heavy Slam is still enough for that. But yeah, like I think it still has a niche though. It might see some play. But yeah. So now going on to the defensive checks in the metagame that are going to be rising. These are the monsters that are definitely going to be like on the rise. So Slowbro is one of the big ones. Slowbro hard walls Luke. Like Luke just gets hard walled by, and so does Ape. So Ape, Luke, Loom is the only one that can beat this. Like Loom is the only one that can do it. Like out of all the fighting types, Loom's the only one that can actually handle Slowbro. To some extent anyway. Better than the other fighting types, I'll say that. So there's that. Slowbro can take on the fighting types very easily. Can take on like other physical attackers like Tar and Mamo. Can take on Scizor, but Scizor may end up being more offensive now. So you may end up seeing like more like SD sets run around, which is definitely worth it, because I think Defog's ass. Like I really think it's way too passive on Scizor. Like you may as well make that offensive at that point. Or at least like bulky SD with U-turn and all that stuff. But yeah, Slowbro definitely be on the rise for those physical attackers. Same with Gliscor. I think Gliscor's gonna be more physically defensive now, so we're probably gonna be seeing a lot more of that. I still think like Spadef sets are gonna be around too, but I don't think they're gonna be as like needed. Looking at where the meta is right now, because again, with Gengar being gone, Zam. Well, I mean, I still think Zam and like Azelf and even Lottie are still dangerous though. Don't get me wrong, they're still very dangerous, but you have a little bit more leeway, I'd say, in your special wall since you have Blissey now, or since Blissey's still around, for more defensive teams, or more like stall-oriented teams anyway. But yeah, Gliscor can take that on, or can take on the physical attackers very easily. So again, Luke and Machamp. Well, Machamp is kind of weird because you have Ice Punch for that still, so you still get threatened by it. But yeah, physical attackers definitely got to be aware of Gliscor still. Kiss definitely got better too. Again, it's a really good fighting resist, and probably will be even better now. Especially with Gengar gone. So again, no poison type to really deal with. It's definitely a really good defogger, and you can get away with like paraflinching stuff too. So Kiss definitely got a pretty good buff here. So this mon will definitely be seeing a lot more usage here. I'll say that. Tangrowth, same thing. Really good defensive mon. Can take on the physical attackers very easily. Checks Loom. Except for Facade. Facade still does a lot to it. But outside that though, I mean, if you bulk up enough, you can deal with it. But Tangrowth definitely just bodies, or definitely just eats hits from Luke, and really eats hits from Luke and Machamp, and technically Heracross still, but Heracross can still do a decent chunk to it. But definitely can wall Loom depending on the set. Can wall Gator too, but Gator's running Ice Beam now, so that's not really a good check anyway. Again, it's just a better defensive wall now. Clef definitely, I think we'll see more defensive Clef. Definitely think we'll see more defensive Clef. I do think Unaware is still going to be like the set that everyone's going to be running on this. Magikarp might have a little bit more usage though, maybe. Maybe we'll see Magikarp Clef again, but Unaware is still really good since it handles all the ST sweepers. Again, SD Luke, SD Scizor, and all that. So it still checks them very nicely. But now it can do it even better with the defensive set. So this mon definitely will be on the rise on the defensive side. Hippo, same thing. Can definitely check the physical attackers or the physical fighting. Can check the fighting types pretty nicely. Granted, it still takes a lot from stuff like Overheat and even Grass Off from Ape. Like it doesn't really wall a whole lot, I'd say. Yeah, I'd say it doesn't really wall a whole lot. It can take on Tar, but it can take on Tar pretty nicely. Can take a hit from Scizor at least. Luke again, it can still take a hit. So it's not bad. It's not bad, but I don't know if it's gonna be like worthy enough to rise into OU. Maybe it will, depending on how the meta goes, but definitely Hippo has a little bit more leeway now, so that mon will probably see some usage. Yeah, outside that though, this is all I really see for the meta at the moment. Oh, I guess like some other like stuff that'll be on the rise. I know I mentioned Jirachi already. I definitely think Jirachi will have a little bit more of a niche now with Gengar being gone. So probably going to see more defensive sets and even more. Yeah, because now Rachi can take on Lottie even better. So yeah, that's another thing. Rachi is a better defensive check now to Latios with Gengar being gone. So that's also really good to note. But also, Rachi can be ran as a Calm Mind sweeper now, so you can run like Calm Mind sets, like Calm Mind Wish support, or Calm Mind Wish, or even like Sub Calm Mind. Or again, just even like offensive sets, like Calm Mind 3 attack is also pretty nice too. So Rachi definitely got a pretty nice buff. So probably we'll be seeing more of that. So that'll definitely be interesting to see where that goes. But yeah, really all I wanted to mention here. Again, meta's going to be a lot more physically oriented, so we're going to be seeing a lot more of that. So Lottie and other psychics will be around, and they'll still be good. They'll still be very good. But yeah, that's just my prediction on where the meta's going to be at the moment, or where the meta will be. And again, going back to the dark type topic, I really do think that it's really hard to see how the dark types will drop. I don't think they will. I don't. Again, these defensive checks are good enough to handle the fighters. So I don't think dark types will drop that much, but I do think they might get a little worn down. I'll say that. But there is still room for other dark types to rise up too. Like I think Umbreon might have a chance as a niche anyway. It might have a chance as a niche. Honestly, I think it still had a niche even when Gengar was around too. I think it actually took on Gengar a little bit better than Tar did. So this can actually take Focus Blast somewhat well. Can't take Nasty Plot Focus Blast though, but it can take on like a regular Focus Blast fairly well, or fairly decently. But yeah, definitely think Umbreon has at least a niche here, so it'll probably see something. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to mention about Gengar and everything. I know I probably talked for a long time about this mon, but this is definitely a pretty big change, because this is something that hasn't happened before really with a ghost. Well, not a ghost type in this generation. I'm not going to say that because that's happened plenty of times already. But really with, I guess, this reinvented DPP, it's just different, you know. It's just very different to see this mon like rise up to this extent. Again, that's what happens. That's what happens when Pursuit's gone. You know, big changes like this happen. So yeah, we'll end up seeing where the meta goes and whatnot. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this vid. If you guys did, please make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for some more BDSP discussions and whatnot. And yeah, let me know your thoughts on Gengar, and tell me where you think the meta's gonna be going from this point on. And yeah, that's gonna be that. Be safe, wash your hands. I'll see you for some more Pokemon Showdown lives in BDSP, Sword and Shield, and all that. And also check out my Pokemon Legends Arceus videos and all that stuff. But yeah, that's gonna be that. Be safe, wash your hands, and peace out.